That's an example. No, the one that's look through here, there's a. That is the one. I was talking about this one. Oh, it looks just like that. Maybe this is 2016. That's 2016. So how many? 128,000. You just got 6, 7.
Huh?
You got everything you need?
The what?
Okay.
You want me to say then a moment of silence?
Yeah, that's fine. I figured it'd become good for you since.
So you're gonna join over here? Are we gonna do that again?
Do we need to call Jody?
He's not coming. You want me here? Or do we need to? Nikki, is it necessary that we call Jody? Or are we okay?
I think we're fine.
Please stand. Tonight we're going to do a little something different where instead of the invocation, we're going to give a moment of silence in memory of our dear friend, Mayor Robert Bridges. So bow your heads in a moment of silence. And now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call this regular meeting of June 17th, 2025 to order.
Now, I'd also like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include a new business item number 1 for a proclamation declaring today, June 17, 2025, Robert Bridges Day, and also to include a voting item number 3 for the approval to purchase 3 public works trucks.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, show of hands. Passed. So we're going on into the minute approval now. And so we're looking at approving the minutes for June 3rd. We're striking June 10th. And then June 10th at, I think that was the 6 o'clock. And June 10th public hearing. So you need a motion to approve those 3 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for June 3rd, 2025, June 10th, the 6 o'clock meeting, and also the June 10th, 2025 public hearing for the fiscal year 2026 budget.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, show of hands. Motion passed. As far as the new business proclamation, today we want to proclaim as Mayor Robert Bridges Day. And so I'm going to read this proclamation to you. The City of Statham, Georgia, proclamation honoring former Mayor Robert Bridges. Whereas the progress and character of a community are shaped by those who dedicate themselves to public service with vision, humility, and steadfast commitment to the common good. And whereas Robert Bridges, as former mayor of the City of Statham, Georgia, served with honor, integrity, and a tireless devotion to the citizens of this community, leaving a legacy marked by principled leadership and heartfelt encouragement. And whereas during this time in office, Mayor Bridges championed initiatives that strengthen Statham's infrastructure, fostered economic development, and upheld the city's unique heritage, always placing the needs and hopes of residents at the forefront of his work. And whereas his leadership and was characterized not only by effective governance, but by a spirit of accessibility, respect, and genuine care for the people he served, building trust, unity, and pride throughout the community. And whereas the City of Statham recognizes Robert Bridges as a model public servant where enduring impact continues to guide and inspire future generations of local leaders. Now, therefore, I, Debbie Krause, Mayor of the City of Statham, Georgia, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, as Robert Bridges Day. All right, now we're going to move into our public hearing, so I need a motion to go into public hearing.
I'll make a motion to go into public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor, show of hands. Passed. I love that picture.
All right. Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. This will serve as your second public hearing for your 2025 millage rate that supports the fiscal year 2026 budget. There we go. All right, so as we have with the other hearings, we'll start with a little bit of education. We'll go over some definitions and the property tax calculations so that we all have a good understanding of how the property tax amounts are calculated that you pay each fall. So the first definition we're going to cover is the millage rate. The millage rate is the rate established by the levying authority each year. That for the City of Statham, that's this governing body. The tax rate is then applied to the assessed value of taxable property to calculate the amount of property tax to be paid. The millage rate is usually stated as dollars per thousand. So in an example, 5 mills is $5 per thousand of assessed value. The next term is your market value and assessed value. The market value is the current estimated amount that the property can be bought or sold. It's the fair market value. The assessed value here in the state of Georgia is 40% of the market value and is the basis at which we apply the millage rate to get the tax due. So we have an example. If the fair market value of a parcel of real property is $250,000, its corresponding assessed value is 40% or $100,000. All right, so here's an example of the property tax calculation. So how we get from those two definitions to the amount of property tax that you owe. The market value of your home, again, is $250,000. At 40%, that's $100,000. And you apply the millage rate of 6.76. The annual property tax to be paid is $676. So you'll also hear this term called the rollback rate. The rollback rate is the millage rate that would raise the same amount of revenue as last year if it's applied to the current value of the property on last year's digest. So in other words, the rollback rate adjusts the government's property tax revenues to eliminate increases due to inflation. Now, there are two types of growth in a digest, and this is important to understanding how your digest changes from year to year. There are growth due to reassessments. Think things like your inflationary factor that we just talked about. And there's growth from new or improved properties. This would be additions, renovations, new construction, things of that nature. The 2025 digest for the city of Statham is pretty well balanced, with 35% of the growth coming from reassessments and 65% of the growth coming from new or improved properties. This slide also shows you the breakdown across your property classes. You can see you're heavily in the residential total, followed by commercial and industrial, and you can also see the percent change in the digest from year to year. The pie chart shows you that distribution, so you can see the majority of the 2025 digest here in the city of Statham is 73% residential. And we'll talk about what we recommended with the initial proposed budget was a millage rate of 6.75. The current rate is 6.76, and the required rollback rate that we're required to calculate comes out to 6.402. We often think of those in terms of dollars. So the equivalent dollar of that change in millage rate to the city would be approximately $50,000. The equivalent dollar to that change for the taxpayer would be about $3 a month, or about $36 a year. One of the reasons that we recommended the 6.75 rate is that the city is experiencing inflation just like everybody else. One of the flawed components of the rollback rate is that it assumes governments don't experience inflation and therefore shouldn't see it on the revenue side like they see it on the expenditure side. But unfortunately, we have experienced that and incorporated in the fiscal year 26 budget several increases that have a citywide impact. And I've put some examples here for you to demonstrate those costs that we've incorporated. One of those is group health insurance increase, estimated at 15%, a workers' comp estimated increase at 3%. We've included COLA and merit based on evaluations, and we also have a property and liability insurance increase of 5.4%. So those are all factors in coming up with what we need in terms of revenues to balance the budget. And as we'll talk about later, also looking at long-term financial planning and ensuring that we're sustainable in the future is also a factor. And that covers our millage rate presentation before the hearing. I welcome any questions, or if I can elaborate on anything, I look forward to doing that.
Do you have any questions? Any questions from the council?
No. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With no questions asked, then I need a motion to come out of public hearing.
Make a motion to come out of public hearing.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, show of hands. It's passed. So now we're moving on down to our voting items tonight. The tax increase adoption, the next hearing for that will be on the 25th. That'll be our third one at 9:30 a.m. So I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 budget adoption.
I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 budget adoption.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, show of hands. Approved. The next item for voting is for Public Works trucks. Do you need to come forward and talk about this, or we've already talked about this? Okay.
Yeah, if you could just kind of tell us the need for the trucks and, you know,
You've
the
got
shape that the current ones are in.
paperwork in here for your,
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all should have all
Yeah.
the paperwork. So these are some used vehicles that'll do just fine. for years to come for the city. So essentially, for 25 fiscal years budget, there was 45,000 budgeted in Public Works for one vehicle. We're going to knock out the purchase of 3 vehicles, or attempting to, with that one line item. It'll be 2 pickup trucks and 1 bucket truck, and that'll be just shy of 44,000 and some change. So that one line item will purchase 3 vehicles. Of course, they are used. Our current bucket truck is a 1983 model, so it's got a crack in the bucket. It's very unsafe for our employees. Today, I went to go use it myself in the back of the shop, and it's leaking hydraulic oil all over the place. So it's just needs to be, got rid of, and it's just unsafe for the employees. So a local company here, CEI, Cable East Incorporated, they run through their vehicles, and they've offered us, reached out to us about a vehicle they have that they're surplusing that's still in good shape, and they are offering at it to the city for a very, very good price. I want to say it's around $14,000, and it's a 2016 model bucket truck, and it's all certified. Went through, they use these daily. They have to have them inspected yearly, gone through and kept up maintenance and all that. So it's in very good shape. It'll do the city just fine for what we need: trimming limbs, putting up Christmas decorations, what have you. The 2 pickup trucks are 2 used. I think they're the ones in 2019, ones in 2018. Very reasonable miles. They are about 5 or 6 years old. We can get both of those pickup trucks for $29,000. But a total of all 3 is about 44 and some change. So that one line item, like I said, will cover the purchase of 3 vehicles for public.
And that's coming out of this current.
Current budget.
Yeah.
That was approved last
year.
year.
All right.
So it's only approved line item. It's
Yeah.
just we just haven't made the purchase.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay.
are, end of the year. So.
Okay.
Any questions? Like I said, the 2 pickup trucks will replace 2 current pickup trucks. One's a 05 Ford Ranger that's got some mechanical issues that's taking up room in our facility. It's got over 200,000 miles. The other pickup truck will be replacing a 2003 or 2004 Silverado. The steering wheel's literally falling off of it. It's got high mileage and mechanical problems as well. Both of those trucks will be, we'll put them on gov deals and auction them off, surplus those vehicles. And of course, the bucket truck will be surplused as well. So,
Thank
any
you.
questions?
I think we're very blessed to have been able to get all those vehicles for that kind
Yeah,
of money.
it's a very good night. A good deal. I mean,
Yes,
you
yes.
budget for 1 vehicle, and you're able to purchase 3 vehicles out of one item. So.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you, Robert.
And as
Well,
always, we appreciate y'all's
Yes.
support
Yeah.
and y'all's
you.
agreements. So.
Thank you for looking and digging for dollars. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
So Debbie, you want to do 3 separate motions with the ones listed?
Oh, 3 separate motions, okay. We need 3 separate motions. One would be I need a motion for the bucket truck.
Mayor, sorry.
Excuse me. Yes,
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize purchase of the bucket truck from Cable East Incorporated for $14,000.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, show of hands. That's passed. Then I need a motion for the used 2017 Ram. That's the bucket truck. Okay. It's got a
2019 Ford.
2019 Ford F-150.
Make a motion to purchase the 2019 Ford F-150 from Marietta Truck Sales at a price of $16,996. That was $995 on that? Okay.
The 2019
$16,995.
The 2019 is 16,996.
Well, there's 2 different prices. We'll go with what's on the bill of sale, $16,995.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, show of hands. Then we have a 2020 Ford F-150, correct,
2018.
Nikki?
The 2018.
28.
for $13,795.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to purchase 2018 Ford F-150 for $13,795 from Marietta Truck Sales.
Second. All in favor, show of hands. Passed. Thank you for making sure we get these correct. Appreciate it. I appreciate all the hard work in trying to get these vehicles. I think that Public Works are going to very much appreciate them. Thank you so much, council, for that. Is there any other business that needs to come before the council tonight? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
I need a second. All in favor? This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.